Forest class, hello Matthew class, welcome to Thursday's maths lesson. Hope you've been getting on okay with all your adding this week. Today I am setting reception children in year 1, if you'd like to do it as well, a little challenge, something that you can do. And then year 1 children, we're going to go on and we're going to think a little bit more about adding. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to start off reception children. I would like you, now you might have this at home, but if you haven't got it at home, I'm going to set you a little challenge because I would like you to all play a game of snakes and ladders. Now I've got my snakes and ladders board here if you have never seen it or haven't got it. So, can you see it all? Yeah, great. So snakes and ladders is a board game. And it's a game you can play with one other person or with a few people, or sometimes my little boy just plays it by himself because he quite likes using a dice and playing a game. So you will notice that Snakes and Ladders is made up of lots and lots and lots of different squares. And you won't be able to see it all, but if I show you nice and close, can you see, starting from the bottom corner, the bottom left-hand corner, it's got numbers on it, and the numbers go up. So this line goes 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and then you go up to 11 and all the way back to 20, and then up to 30 40 50 60 70 80 90, and then it ends on, you see, ends on 100. Now if you've got a Snakes and Ladders board, brilliant. I'd like you to, today, your maths challenge today is to play a game of Snakes and Ladders. If you don't have a Snakes and Ladders board, I thought you could have a go at making it. Now I thought you could use, because sometimes you might not have enough paper or bits of card, so I was wondering whether you could use a cereal box to make it. You could open up the cereal box and use the brown side of it. What you'll need to do is you'll need to draw lots and lots of squares. If you haven't got enough space to go all the way to 100, maybe your Snakes and Ladders board could just go up to 50. And then so you'll need to draw lots and lots of squares on your bit of card or cardboard or whatever you're using, and then number each square. When you've numbered each square on your board, you need to draw some snakes and some ladders. So if you look at them, the ladders go from a square to another square. This one, look, is a huge one. It goes all the way from there, all the way up to there. Some of them go like that or like that, but they all go from a square to a square. Same with the snakes. That one starts there and then ends in another square. So they go from square to square. So once you have drawn your board and you've got all your squares and they're all numbered, really good practice writing your numbers, you need to draw some snakes and some ladders. And then your board is done. That's all you need to do to make a board. And the way you play Snakes and Ladders is you need a dice. And you roll a dice and you move counters. You can use some of your counters. You move counters along the board, and the idea is the first person to get to 100 or whatever your biggest number on your board is the winner. Now as you're going along, if you land on a ladder, that means you can climb up the ladder. So if I was to land on number 2, I would be able to climb the ladder and I would end up on number 38. But if, look at this one, if you land on a snake, look, you're all the way up here. Where is it? Up here on 86. You're nearly a winner. But oh no, I've landed on a snake's head. You have to go all the way back down, and I would be back down on 24. So let me explain that again. You use your counter, you move along your board. If you land on the bottom of a ladder, you go up it. So if I was to land on the top of a ladder, nothing happens. If you land on a square that's at the bottom of the ladder, you go up the ladder. And if you land on a snake's head, if you were to land on a snake's tail, nothing happens. If you land on a snake's head, you go all the way back down. So that is your challenge, reception children. It'd be lovely year 1 to do it as well. But there is your challenge, reception children. Play snakes and ladders if you've got a snakes and ladders board, or if you haven't, you could make one yourself. And I'd love to see some photos of your snakes and ladders boards. So that's reception children. Okay, year 1, we're just going to do a little bit of adding. I have got a couple of addition calculations that I'd like you to look at. And I want us to think about the best way of finding the answer to the calculations. So here is my first calculation. My first calculation is 3 add 11. 3 add 11. Now, 3 add 11. Normally we'd think about, okay, I've got 3 and I'm going to add 11. So I would start on 3 and I would do my 11 jumps to add 11. But is that the best way to do it? Do you remember doing our fact families? We could, when we were thinking of other addition calculations that we know, when we know this, do you remember we talked about we could swap the numbers over? So because we know 3 add 11 is something, then we also know 11 add 3 is going to give us the same answer. Because working out 11 add 3 is going to be so much easier. Let me show you. If I was going to do 3 add 11, well, let's start on 3. Now I've got to add 11. I've got to do 11 jumps. Gosh, that's going to be a bit tricky. It's going to take me a long time. I'm going to do a lot more jumps and I'm going to potentially